Lots moving on the Governor Cuomo story this afternoon. A short time ago, the White House pressed by our very own Peter Doocy on allegations against Governor Andrew Cuomo from a former aide accusing the governor of giving her an unwanted kiss. She said that he also suggested that they, quote, play strip poker.
Is the White House worried about this becoming a distraction from an important meeting about COVID response?
Well, let me first say that the president has been consistent in his position. When a person comes forward, they deserve to be treated with dignity and respect. Their voice should be heard, not silenced, and any allegation should be reviewed.
New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio piling on today, saying that the sexual harassment claims are, quote, disturbing. He's also calling for an independent investigation of the governor's actions. As Fox awaits comments from some powerful Democratic leaders, the governor's office says that Lindsey Boylan's allegations are, quote, simply false. Let's bring in Fox News contributors Lisa Booth and Leslie Marshall. Good to have both of you with us today. Kristen Gillibrand weighing in. She also weighed in, asking for an investigation of her Democratic colleague Al Franken, the senator from Minnesota. Let's listen to what she has to say.
These allegations are serious and deeply concerning, and anyone has a right to come forward to be heard and to have allegations be investigated. Governor Cuomo also has a right to be heard, and he has come forward and has denied these allegations. But ultimately, the decision will be up to the state legislature.
Lisa, your thoughts?
Well, contrary to what we just heard from Senator Kirsten Gillibrand and the White House press secretary, the mantra wasn't that women have the right to be heard. It was that they have the right to be believed under Brett Kavanaugh. It was the fact that we automatically have to believe his accusers simply because they are making the statements of allegations against him. It was never based on the facts. It was never based on the evidence. And so that's the difference here. And Democrats certainly don't believe that mantra of believe all women unless the accusation is being made against Republicans and it can be used as a political weapon against them. And I've got to tell you, Martha, from my time in politics, the Kavanaugh confirmation hearings was the most eye-opening experience I have ever had, because what it did is it allowed me to see the left for what they truly are. They're a party. The doctrine is all about power, and they will do whatever they have to do to keep it. They will do whatever they have to do for political purposes, including baselessly accusing a father of two and a husband in front of his family of gang rape without any evidence whatsoever. And I will never view them the same based off of that.
You know, it's interesting. There was pretty much silence across most of the news channels, Leslie, on this story. They really haven't reported on it at all. That's a continuation of the pattern that we saw with Tara Reade's allegations during the campaign against the now president, Joe Biden. He also had people who said that he was, touched them in a way that was unwanted, so some similar suggestions here. So where is the fairness? Where is the fair treatment here?
Well, quite frankly, and you had mentioned it before we saw the clip, Martha, I mean, Democrats have called out their own in their own party. If you look at Senator Al Franken, if you look at former Representative Katie Hill, those are two examples. And if we're going to toss stones toward the Democrats, and I really don't like the sweeping generalizations, although I love you, Lisa, of either party, Democrats or Republicans, on the victim of sexual harassment, I believe victims, male or female, when they come forward. And I think unless the investigation, and there should always be an investigation, shows that that allegation is not to be truthful, that individual needs to be believed. Statistically, majority of people who come forward are telling the truth, but there unfortunately are some that don't. But during the Trump administration and prior to his election as president, there were over 20 allegations against him, and I also heard some silence from those on the right that were supporting Donald Trump at that time.
Well, I would say this. We have always on this program believed in due process for both sides in these stories. These stories can ruin lives of both sides involved. And that's something that we've always really pressed for and discussed in these cases. So I want to play this from Steve Cohen, former secretary to Governor Cuomo, on Cuomo's character. Here's what he said.
I have never seen anything of the like of what Ms. Boylan has described. His conduct has always been in my presence with the members of other staff appropriate. Not that it is always fun-loving and a good time, but it is always appropriate.
So Lisa, obviously, investigation is something that's being called for by de Blasio. A lot of people who would ordinarily be supporters of Governor Cuomo, I guess, are wanting an investigation. I guess where it goes for him is one of the big questions, because this is sort of another straw on the camel's back, as we've said here, for a very embattled governor right now.
Well, and he's no longer politically useful to the left. He was a foil to President Trump with coronavirus. Now he's no longer useful, so he is now expendable to the left. But to Leslie's point, evidence matters, and that's where Republicans have always been on these Me Too issues. And to the aide's point, if you look at some of the allegations she made, she has both emails. She also has text messages that she sent her mom expressing concern about Governor Cuomo, which do boost the allegations she's made. But of course, there has to be an investigation. Due process is paramount to this country. If we want to be a free society, if we want to be a free country, we have to have due process. And I think for Republicans, it is now more important than ever to support due process, even if it's for terrible human beings like Governor Cuomo, because we are going down roads where we are increasingly a less free society. We've seen that under coronavirus, where we have been given up rights, where we have had people like Governor Cuomo using the coronavirus to consolidate power and to control.
Okay.
Where we have a political party on the left trying to use the events of January 6th to indict over 74 million people. So now is more important than ever that we live in both the truthful society as well as a society that embraces due process.
Good point, Lisa. Thank you very much. Leslie, thank you.